All right, collectors, welcome back. This is part of my Versus series. We have here our three Madelyne Pryor Goblin Queen statues. We have two custom and one licensed by Bowen Designs. And yeah, so we're just gonna compare all three, so stay tuned. Here we go. Let's get into the comparison of the Goblin Queen, Madelyne Pryor. As you can see, it's not going to be a direct comparison only because the throne is a significantly different piece than the other two, which are more museum style. And as you can see, the pose on the Bowen and the custom are pretty close to each other. But one thing I want to highlight is the Bowen designs. I mean, let's do Sculpt first. And Sculpt, let's start with like the body. So let's just go in closer to the Bowen designs. So this one was sculpted by Tim Miller. Tim Miller was one of my favorite sculptors during the Bowen days. He did a lot of female sculpts, and he even did sideshow quarter scale as well. He did, I think, the Tomb Raider, first Tomb Raider statue, and he also did Miss Marvel. I know he did other ones too. I think he was primarily like he used wax, traditional sculpting, and he sculpted in wax. And this particular statue he did for Bowen Designs, and it was comic accurate initially because he did share like his work in progress pictures where she did have the under cleavage there. But this was around the time that Disney bought Marvel, so then they had them readjust it and they covered it up. So here is the Bowen Designs version, and I kind of referenced it in one of my other reviews. It's a bit unique. I mean, her costume is not like if you see it in the comics, it's just just normal loincloth. Like this one, they actually almost tried to do like a texture to it. There's a lot of folds here in the bust area, and then if you look at her cape almost looks like it was partially burned or something. It kind of gives that effect here on the edges, here on the neckline, and even in the cloth there. So I mean, there's a lot of texture going on here and paint that makes it look like it's tattered, it's weathered, it's burned. And then you have her boots, which are black, but then they have a lot of blue highlights, and there's a lot of folds in there. So I mean, it's a fantastic sculpt by Tim Miller. Let me turn this around. I mean, look at the sculpt that he did. And this is 1/6 scale. And actually bumped up against some other statue a while ago, and one of our fingers broke, but I put it back. I mean, and I know Vinceville Customs did one where he actually put the bust back in the statue. Yeah, I mean, look at her cape. I mean, it looks like it's torn, charred, or whatever, and that's very, very different. I mean, I know she had like a torn look in the comics, but I mean, this just looks really different. And for like a Bowen scale statue, which is closer to 1/7 scale, the detail is amazing. On it, and even look here, like the string holding it up. You can tell like it's just like torn fabric. It's not straight. It's a fantastic sculpt by Tim Miller for such a small scale. So I mean, that's kind of what I expected the quarter scale versions to be, but they were a bit different. Like there's her face, but not much detail. I mean, this is what the faces kind of look like in the Bowen days, just comic book look. So it's really, really cool. So in terms of costume, whereas we go to the other custom, it's more of a smooth fabric look, similar to the comic. And even if like the back of the cape, it's very bright red. This is like a blood red for the Bowen Designs. And we go around, and it had, like I said in my review, it has like a glitter type of look to it, and it has the blue highlights similar to what the Bowen Designs does. And then the cape, just sharp edges, kind of like a what is it, like a Dracula type cape or something. But I mean, you can tell it's kind of torn in a bit of a few areas. But other than that, I mean, it's very, I would say, comic accurate. Just not much texture on the costume itself, like compared to the Bowen, where there's like tons of texture, which is odd because Bowen would normally do like, what do you call it, comic accurate, costumes, and that just it seems like they did something extra. And then here we go, the throne, again, very comic accurate. She has her boots, and her costume is pretty smooth, like it would be in the comics. The only thing is she doesn't have the little loincloth thing coming down. It looks like it's just more like underwear. And then her cape is a lot smaller, and it doesn't have a different color on the inside as opposed to the outside. But it does look, more torn and stuff like that. It's just not very long compared to what I think the comics would show. So I would say probably comic accuracy in terms of the costume would probably go to the custom. But I do love the texture that the Bowen Designs did for this one. And but anyway, in terms of like sculpt for the three, I mean, I would still say that the throne is probably the better sculpt. I mean, she's not as busty as this one. I think she's a bit too busty in this sculpt by Newman. This one, I mean, Goblin is pretty big. It just doesn't feel as big as that one. It doesn't look as big. It is like she's popping out over there. And then third would be the Bowen Designs, only because it's not comic accurate. But now let's go to the base, and obviously the throne is going to win out on the base. I mean, just look at the throne. You have 3 goblins on here. 2 on the sides of the base, 1 on the back, and then you just have all this sculpt of the bones and everything that make up her throne. It's not symmetrical. It's like, it's just all over the place. Something like something you'd see like in hell. It just doesn't look symmetrical. It's just made up of just different, I guess. I don't know what these are, demons or whatever it is. It's just made up of different things. Whereas the Bowen Designs, I don't know if this was based on some type of artwork or not, but where they just drew it and then just sculpted it from here. The demons, they look okay. The goblins. I mean, you can tell there's a bunch of different versions. There's like a little baby version, like more menacing looking versions, some with like a bird nose, horns. I mean, they're all a bit different. They look very different. There's a lot of them, so that's really cool. And then we have the custom with the 2 demons here. It's okay. I mean, I think what's not great about this base is just the actual wood here. I mean, it doesn't look like wood. Especially like the paint. I mean, the paint's a bit flatter. So I mean, I would say obviously the custom throne is going to win, but obviously it's just different from the other 2. I mean, these are more museum poses, so I wouldn't even want to really compare this because it's a throne piece compared to, museum style bases or poses. But in terms of, if I was just, this totally wins out because it's just throne. I mean, it looks incredible, and the demons look great. They're full body goblins. There's 3 full body goblins there. Here, there's, it's just kind of heads popping out on most of it. There's some half body. There's some arms coming out. Little tentacle thing here. I don't know what that is. And here we have 2. They look good, but I mean, I just don't like the way they kind of sit on here. I mean, I wish they kind of just would have keyed in. Probably would have been a little bit better. So in terms of base, obviously the throne, and then I would actually say the base on the Bowen is a tad better than this one. I don't like this little black thing here, but they did it just to elevate it, because I know Bowens, they always tried to get like around 12 inches in height for their characters, so they would make bases a little bit taller so they would all kind of align when they're next to each other. But I think this looks really good, and I think the arm grasping on her leg is kind of similar to this one here, but I mean, this one it's more around her leg. So I mean, I just think this one wins out over this base. Now let's go into paint. Paint. This one is again a bit more difficult. I mean, I think obviously I think the throne again wins out on paint. I mean, the bones, the texture, and the different color variations in the bone to bring out each individual, skull or whatever that's on here is just incredible, including the demon or the goblins. I keep saying demons. They're painted really well. Even though the loincloths on the demons or goblins are very similar to the skin tone, you can tell that they're different in person. I mean, it's a different color. So I mean, and they all kind of just, I don't know, it just looks really good. Really good. Like you could tell a lot of time was taken in the factory to paint this. And again, with her skin tone's more of, it's not as white as the other two. These feel like they're just washed out a bit. This one, she has more of a skin like a human would look, like, a bit more pinkish parts and red. It's not as pink as it is in the video. She's just more fleshy here compared to these two, and looking at the Bowen and this one side by side, let's see. I mean, the paint scheme for the skin is very, very similar. I mean, they're almost identical in terms of the skin tone. So it's more of a lighter tone here as opposed to this. So yeah, I mean, I would think, these two are probably equal in terms of paint. It just depends on what you like. I mean, this one's more of a darker, like reds here, but the color variations, especially in her loincloth and her cape, are really good. And there's more actual folds and stuff in the sculpt here that are shown with the paint than this one. So I think probably number one paint job is this. The only thing that's slightly less is just, I think the Bowen just has more colors in it, which is kind of odd thing to say for something that's so small, but it's doing different textures and stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of blues in here, and everything just makes it look like her cape and her loincloth and stuff are charred and stuff. Whereas this is just like a flat gloss black in the cape as well. But overall, I think as a piece, this probably is painted a little bit better. Then it's probably the Bowen, and then lastly is this one. It's not to say that this one's bad. I mean, I really do like the glitter effect and the blue tones that are in this paint job as well. Just think that these two probably did slightly better. Well, this one did slightly better. This one's really good in terms of the skin. Now let's see. Did I talk about the sculpt? I think I did on the female body. I mean, it's just two different interpretations. Again, the Newman sculpt is more of a someone like a woman who does CrossFit or something, like I said before. Like she's super toned, big muscles, big glutes. You can see muscle definition here, and then her glutes are like she's big. She could tell she works out. So she's just a larger, I guess, a more fit sculpt for a woman here. Whereas these two are more, she's thin and she's fit. I mean, you can see some definition in her abdomen area. It's just she's not as like ripped as this one. I mean, it just comes down to preference. Like I said, I got both because I think this one fits better with the Mark Newman Jean Grey, 90s Jean Grey. This is going to fit better with my X Factor Jean Grey. I just have her displayed with all the other jeans that I have in Bowen scales. So, I mean, and, I guess comic accuracy again for the hair. Bowen is kind of doing similar to what Sideshow does. Let's just zoom in. Her hair, again, is more of a reddish brown look, which I don't like. We go to the custom here. It's red. You can tell it's red. It's a lot redder than the Bowen designs and anything Sideshow does. And then if we go here to this latest custom, it's like very bright red. So, I mean, I do like this interpretation better. And so here we go. So overall, I mean, I like all three, and they all three have something that defines the piece, I guess. I mean, and has a lot going for it. This one, I mean, these two are more comparable to each other because they're museum poses. Um, and, you know, this is great for any Bowen collection. If you have smaller figures and you have a Jean Grey or X-Men villain collection, fantastic piece to own. You know, especially like looking at it now compared to the other two in her costume. I mean, it just like the amount of detail Tim Miller was able to get in a wax sculpt for all this and the paint John Bowen did. I mean, it's truly incredible because I think even a lot of the other custom Madelyne Pryor, they don't do any of this texture on the loincloth, the cape, and stuff like that. I haven't seen it. It's more of a smooth look like the other two have. So I think that's a really cool you know, design choice that they decided to do for Bowen. Now, sorry, this one, fantastic piece for a museum pose in your X-Men villain collection, or to compare with Jean Grey. I mean, body sculpt is incredible. You know, I just think the only falter part in this one is the head sculpts were all the same. They just kind of changed the eyes, so it was kind of glowing green eyes, just normal green eyes and white eyes. You know, there was no other switch outs for this one. And obviously Bowen never has any switch outs, but for a quarter scale, I would have liked a different face sculpt. You know, that wasn't in the exact same facial expression and look, or she could have been turning another way, I don't know, or a different hand sculpt, some type of switch out. But, you know, this is how it is, and it works perfect for any Jean collection. And this one is more, I think, like a centerpiece. I mean, it's a throne piece, so, you know, everyone's going to, when they look at it, they're going to be looking a lot at the throne and everything else. So I think this one just has a lot more going for it. So, you know, just to recap, probably paint still goes to this one. Sculpt, if you just take out the base and look at the body, I like what Bowen did with the loincloth and the cape. You know, but I you know, you just can't beat the face sculpt on the throne custom. This one and the other one, I mean, they just look fantastic. And you know, the you know, the sculpt on the costume is really good. You know, and the body's good. This one also, I mean, the body sculpt's incredible. You know, just not as much detail on the costume itself, similar to that one, and they just went different routes for the costume. So anyway, yeah, I think this is really good. I'm happy to have all three in my collection. I just think probably, you know, if you could only have one and you had quarter scale, I mean, I would probably do the throne, which is, it's just really cool to have a throne piece, especially if you don't have one. But if you're looking at more museum pose, this one is perfect way to go. I mean, I know there's some other Madelyne Pryors that have been released or showing, and I just think this one is better than most of those. And I know there's one that's coming out that was made in Unreal Engine. I just haven't seen any production shots of that one yet, and that one just looks nuts. But it looks very cool in Unreal Engine. I just don't know how it'll turn out when it's actually printed and painted and stuff. And if you're looking for a smaller scale, I know there's other smaller scale Goblin Queens, but can't beat the Bowen. I mean, it's very cool sculpt. So anyway, there it is. Yeah, Madelyne Pryor. So here's three of them, and I'll put them back where I can display them. Anyway, thanks for watching.